And hello, you're right.
And hello, everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing amazing and well. We want to welcome you all to the Hello LLC. If you know, Hello stands for Helping Entrepreneurs Leverage Web3 Optimizations. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing conversation in the metaverse that we would highly encourage you to come and join us and be a part of our live podcast right now, where you can go to our amazing Biz in a Box, thehellollc.io, and you will be able to see that big button that says Hello Plaza, and you can come and join us from your cell phone, your laptop, your iPad, and your VR headsets if you so choose to. And more importantly, look, today we're going to be talking about the future of community, exploring new trends and strategies. And I have my amazing other half, as you can see, Tara. And so, love, when it comes to community, what does community mean to you, babe?
Well, hello, beautiful people. It's so great to be here. And the question of the day right now is, what does community mean to me? You know, at the end of the day, when I think community, I think collaboration. And yes, we say that a lot, but people really don't understand. We are back to a point of collaboration within our community where we come together, we find out, we celebrate each other's professions and their attributes and what they're good at and what they excel at. And that's really when we can come together and really be able to lean within the community, help support the community. And really, to be very frank, community to me means authenticity. And so I think that's one of the biggest things that we will start to understand is how to be a good community member through being authentic, and authentic that then means for us to be authentic with ourselves. And so, you know, authenticity is the fabric to integrity, and integrity is the fabric to community. So that's my 2 cents on community. What about you, Mr. Jones?
I love it. I would ditto everything that you said. And even more importantly, the future of connecting is community. So often we've been in this society of this corporation, of this, way of being, and not really caring about community, not caring about one another, how the other person is feeling, how the other person is doing, what's going on in their daily lives. And now more than ever, we're starting to see that that is important, especially with productivity within our businesses or within the enterprises. And so building a community where people feel welcomed, people feel, wanted, and people can express what they want to share is so important. And it is up to all of us to be able to drop the old way of, collaboration. And a lot of the times when people hear collaboration, it's, you scratch my back, I scratch my back, and we're just going to play this pretend game and see how much business we can get out of each other. When now it shouldn't be about that. It should really be about, hey, this person does this, and I know this many people can take advantage of this. And so I'm going to help this other person out, especially now as these corporations falter and fall apart. We're about to find out how important collaboration and community is, where we're all going to be able to share our stories and build our passions, especially utilizing this AI and the metaverse that we continue to share with people, that it's like sharing, what the television was to somebody that's only accomplished the radio. And so once you're able to come in here and see all the community that can be built with everyone from around the world, and I think that's the one thing that, opened us up, that we really didn't understand what collaboration was and community was until we really dived into metaverse and was like, oh, this is what it's about. All of us can win. There's enough abundance for us all, especially as these AI translate the languages and we're able to be, 24/7 without us being the, face of the business and doing these traditional methods. So I'm long-winded, but that's what I got, love.
I love it. So, well, we have a little surprise for y'all. So here we go.
Are you an innovative entrepreneur or business owner ready to embrace the future of business transformation?
The world is evolving at an unprecedented pace, and it's crucial to adapt and pivot towards success in this dynamic landscape. At the Hello LLC, we are dedicated to guiding you through this transformative journey, offering a comprehensive suite of services that extend beyond the metaverse and 3D immersive experiences.
Our mission is to empower businesses and brands by assisting them in building, branding, systemizing, and automating their operations. We specialize in steering businesses from a two-dimensional existence to a thriving three-dimensional presence, where opportunities abound.
We help businesses harness the power of technology to work smarter, not harder, enabling them to operate efficiently and stay ahead of the curve. Our diverse range of services includes
Our Biz in a Box is a complete business solution package designed to jumpstart your entrepreneurial journey. From strategic planning to digital infrastructure, we've got you covered. Your one app, one tap solution.
our motion work AI videos transform.
And we're back.
And boom. So that,
And we're back.
and we're back. And so, love, that's just a little bit about who the Hello LLC is. And it's truly about helping everyone live life optimally. And more importantly, this is something that me and Tara share, right? Is you have to be willing to help yourself. We can't save you. We can help you, but the saving part is up to you. And no matter how many strategies, no matter how much AI, no matter how much metaverse we talk about, it's really up to us to be able to change the way that we used to think. We are moving to a time where we have to rescale, rebuild, and retool our old traditional ways. And that's going to take us getting rid of the old us to get the new us, especially as we transition to, this new way of collaborating. And I know that a lot of people, talk about, oh, well, David, the in-person meetings, events, I still want those. And, oh, David, my newsletter that I might print out, or, my in-person training or workshops that I utilize, or, my email campaigns that people are utilizing to build their campaign. And I'm here to share with you guys that those ways used to work back then, but they don't work now. And, we're always going to bring you guys some facts, and that, just community centers alone have dropped by 20%. Remote workers alone, right, has went up by 75%. When we talk about, decline in, newsletters and printed flyers, that's declined by 62%. When we talk about, in-person workshops and trainings, that's decreased by 40%. When we talk about newsletters and blogs that a lot of us spend a lot of time on, I want you to understand 80% of people would rather watch a live actual, video than read your blog, because we always tell people that you got, a bare minimum of 7 seconds to get people's attention. And a lot of people aren't reading these days. And the average person gets 120 emails a day. I can tell you, as an entrepreneur, I'm not sitting through my emails, going through them and seeing who's emailed me. A lot of the times, which 42% of businesses already have an app or an application that gets rid of spam emails. So although you might think you have a lot of emails that you're getting out to, it's really not getting people's attention, let alone the time that it needs, which is why we share with you guys, you got to start upgrading the way that you're doing things. What you got on that, love? What do you think about that list? Any other additional, old traditional things that people are using?
Well, websites. I didn't hear you say that, but the other side of that, is I wanted to go back to when you talk about the blogs and the newsletters. We hear so often our community that comes in, they'll be like, well, I have this amount of, followers, or this amount of people on my email list, and I'm going to email them. And it's so hard to explain to people that emails, newsletters are not working anymore. People are still doing it, but it's just not returning the rate of, because people aren't opening it. Because guess why? You open up your email and you've got, 300 emails, and 95% of them are newsletter or blog or, some sort of email marketing to you that you might or might not have signed up for, one or the other. But by that time, you're not, like you said, you're not sifting through all that. You're going to go, select all, unselect the ones you want to keep, and then delete the rest of it. And that's because it's not you that's overwhelming, but it's the fact that that resource or that game plan, that way of marketing is overplayed, and people are tired of it. it is proven that over 70% of clients and customers want a personalized experience. So they want where you're, actually, customizing something that was made for them. And that's the biggest thing. We all are consumers at the end of the day, and we have to understand that we want the same treatment that we give others. And so as a consumer, how do we like to be treated, right? Well, that's how we want a company that we're doing business with is to treat us, right? And so, when you talk about the other list of like community and whatnot, it's the old, anything that's old school marketing, newspapers, blogs, newsletters, whether they're electronic or if they're through the written communication to where they're being delivered, anything, magazines, any of that, right? It's all old style. So that's what my take is.
Yeah, please do not be doing a magazine cover and you're doing a virtual event and you don't have a magazine. That's probably not the best way to promote an event, let alone when we talk about, newsletters and blogs. Especially for my LinkedIn people, right? If you want to build a community, I would highly encourage you to connect with that person, follow that person before you just send them your subscription to your newsletter. That just screams, I know to me, like inauthenticity out the gate. That you want me to just sign up for your subscription, but yet you won't follow me or connect with me. And just a hint on LinkedIn, it doesn't show how many people you follow. So you should be trying to follow as many people as possible because that's one of the things that we talk about is that you have to give before you take. And so often people are trying to build their community by taking and not giving, number one. And that's something that we express a lot of the times. And even when you talked about emails, love, right? The average open rate of an email is at 18%, which is
Wow.
crazy. And so, and compared to utilizing your social media, a open rate is 50%. So those of you that continuously are doing the email campaigns and, trying to gain business from that, there's nothing wrong with having an email campaign to let people know of a new book, let know of a new podcast, let people know of what you might have be going on for the month of your business, but trying to capture business from just utilizing email campaign and not implementing social media across all social media platforms, you're putting yourself in technical debt, as we've talked about
Yes.
multiple times, which literally that's what you not implementing some of these new strategies of building your community, which a business is going to be all about. And we say that because look, you're no longer seeing these big brand, rock stars doing commercials anymore. You see more of a community-based, system that's working, that's people are really purchasing from that community more than they are the bigger rock stars, which is why now is the best time for you to be building a community, which is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about this yesterday, especially when we were talking about the Web3 space
Hmm.
and the ability to build community and the necessity to build community because of, we talked about like things being centralized and decentralized. And Web3 really is decentralization, which really means that it puts the power back into our hands, as the consumer. It allows us to hold everybody accountable as a community instead of putting it through a centralized system that might have not such they're not looking out for you and I. That system, is to make sure that the upper portion of that pyramid or that, box there, that triangle is taken care of, but the lower portion where the system is implemented is not for the greater good, right? And that's the beauty of what Web3 will be able to, spaces like this where we can come in, host, events, do town halls like people used to do, everything. Be able to have, digital markets and assets. And, we talked about yesterday the blockchain. Don't be a blockhead. For those that missed it, go check it out. But don't be a blockhead and understand that, this is all going The infrastructure is already here. Now it's just going to be the connectivity. And a lot of people don't realize that they're already utilizing Web3 in their day-to-day life. And because it's so similar to Web2 and what they've been doing, they have no clue. And so Web3 is here. As we say, future is here. It's no longer coming. We are at the time of Jetsons, apparently. So here we are. As they have flying cars, spaces like this. So, it is what comes down the pipeline when we talk about the benefits of Web3 and community.
Yeah, so spot on. And, in our How To Tuesdays earlier this week, where we talked about, stop scrolling, start selling, social media strategies that convert, we shared with people that it doesn't matter all these strategies, all these techniques that we share. People have to understand that the biggest enemy of success is our comfort zone. And, it's the don't want to change. And a lot of the times what we found, especially when we talk about AI, in this Web3 and we talk about the crusty, dusty Zoom, those people that don't know about this or uninformed about this will say, no, it's not this, not that, and the other, because they're afraid of change, because this requires them to do something else. And the second, and that's one of the second ones is, I cannot change, where it will be that person that will sell themselves, well, I'm too old. That's for the youngsters. That's not for me. I'm not good at technology. We get that a lot of the times when people say, oh, I'm not good at technology. And then, the third one is try to do the least of work. Try to take the most least resistant path. And those are the three things that really stop us from our success and our enemies of our success, knowing that we have to change, knowing that we went from, a letter to a fax to email to now you can, email people and you can be right there. Look at that transition alone of the people that still decide to send a letter. I wish you would tell a business owner, hey, I'm going to send you a contract and it's going to come through the mail. What? No. And so this is where we have to love and not even love, just embrace the change, just as, we went from, and we did a TikTok on this as well, where the generations of phones, where we went from this big suitcase to this big brick to, this flip phone to this a BlackBerry to this iPhone, and look at the transition that we've made. And now we're at the point to where our cell phones are the new pagers. And, love, there's always going to be that person that says, oh, no, not the metaverse. What do we do, baby? What do we do when they do that?
Just press the button.
Just press
No,
the button.
at the end of the day, it's the fact that, that's fine. If the metaverse ain't for you right now, cool. But the one day the metaverse will be forced upon you. And that's what people don't understand, is that you will not have a choice. So either understand, adopt it now and get familiar with it, get in, set up camp. It's kind of like, going camping. I don't know if you've ever went camping on Labor Day or Memorial Day weekend. You want to get there and get there early to get the best camping spot, right? And so it's the same thing. Get into Metaverse early, set up your foundation early. So that way, when the mask does show up, just like I shared the other day within our phone call that was talking about, the gold rush, in California. Everybody rushed over there, and it was the people who had the infrastructure, who had the, shovels and the forks, pitchforks, or, mining forks is what I'm trying to say. But, wheelbarrows, things like that, mining tools and equipment, the people who had the grocery stores that provided food or these types of equipment. Those are the ones who had the infrastructure set up for when they showed up, the miners showed up, bada bing, bada boom. And they're the ones who made, because they took advantage of that opportunity, made the most money. So, it's about adoption or early adoption. We're no longer early. It is now is the time, but because the masses think it's like, oh, it's not now, it's going to be in a few years or 5 years from now or 10 years from now, that's where they want you, because then you don't have the ability to be in here setting up your foundation and getting that ready for the opportunity that's about to present itself. So you
Yeah.
know, play the cards of how you want to. We, encourage you to do it now. You don't got to listen to us, but when, we don't like to be the ones that also say we told you so. And a lot of times that happens. And it's not, ego or pride to be like, oh, well, we told you this was going to happen. It's just, it's kind of frustrating because we're like, well, we didn't mention this was going to happen. And now here it is, but because people are stuck in survival mode, so stuck in survival mode. And it's not their fault. It
No,
is
not at all.
society. It's the
Because we were
systems
there.
that we are a part of. Oh, yeah. And the only reason, and the biggest thing is because people are chasing money because they're chasing money for time freedom. And time freedom is what people are ultimately trying to get so they can have that. Well, you have people out here working 1, 2, 3 different jobs and then having, 4 or 5 different side hustles on the side and then trying to spend time with family. And then when is the time that you reboot and set yourself and take care of your self with self-care? If you're not alive and self-care is not your priority, what good are you when you're not here to anybody? What good
hmm
are you to anybody when you're not here is a better way to state that. So it just comes down to the simple fact of we are thrusted into survival mode, and we know that because we've been through it.
Yeah.
And then when we pulled ourselves out of the rat race and stopped chasing that, proverbial time freedom, financial freedom, and really just stopped and said, let's be about balance and self-care
hmm
and health and wealth follows. And that's what people don't realize is when you slow down to crawl, to run, to walk. You got to slow down to speed up. And it took
Yeah.
me so long to understand that saying.
Yeah, so true. And not only that, it's not even the told you so. It's the simple fact that you can't deny facts. And so often we allow our feelings, we allow our opinions to override facts. And when we share with people, that, the virtual meeting increases 87% of accessibility and flexibility. Not to mention 87% of professionals that virtual events are more convenient. AI-driven communities that with AI management can decrease their admin time by 30%. Not to mention the metaverse will increase by 800 billion by 2024. That's this year alone. And a lot of the times that people that want to stick to traditional ways, the Zoom and in person, they have to understand that the metaverse increases engagement by 20%. Not only that, it boosts participation by 30%. And we share this and we have to remind ourselves, just as I did earlier with you, ooh, baby, we got to be on here at 7. So you got to go get dressed. And I was like, oh, wait, no, your pretty avatar is already dressed up and you don't have to do anything. And I'm more than certain so many women would love to be able to show up in their corporate job or in a community or any event and be able to change their avatar, do what they would like to do, and really be immersed in this. And we've seen it firsthand where, extroverts or introverts become extroverts because you are in the comfort of your home. You do feel more relaxed. This is definitely better than a Zoom where you're not just looking at the TV screen, cheesing and smiling and hoping nobody comes in the background like your kids or your dog, hoping that you got a green screen or having to worry about your back screen anyhow. Right now, you guys don't know if I'm sitting on my couch eating Cheetos butt naked with my drawers on and just sitting here just talking to you. You have no clue. But I'm in
No
a
clue.
suit looking nice, clean, and professional. And so this is where we all have to be able to understand. This allows us to gamify and do more things that we're already doing, which blows me away. You're already on your phone. A lot
Yeah.
of you are taking your calls on Zoom already. Why would you not want to be able to show up in a more professional manner in a 3D immersive environment that's created that allows you so much more flexibility, which blows my mind because it's to those three things that we just talked about. The resistance to change, or I don't know that, or come up with any excuse not to do it. And even when we get people in here and we share with them how to get in here, like today I had an appointment with a young lady. I said, now how easy was that for you to get into this metaverse? Oh my God, it was so much more easier than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be so difficult. No, we allow our minds to play so many tricks on us, and it blows me away. And this is where we share. Your mindset has to be able to shift to be able to adapt. No matter how many facts and stats and how many other testimonies we share, it's really up to you at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that people don't understand is that we can tell you all day long, we can share with you, we can show you, but really we can't drink for you. We can't, we can put the straw in your mouth, but we can't do the actual physical drinking of water. We can't do the physical, like we say, we can show you where the restroom is, but we can't physically do the function of peeing for you. And, it just comes down to, again, I'll say it, most people are not tuned in because they are stuck in survival. And it's not important to them right now because it's not based on their survival. And the sad
They
thing
better not be
is
like
that
Blockbuster.
one day, the sad thing is one day they will be Blockbuster. And it will be where they have not paid attention or done a little bit of, recon to figure out where things are going. And then all of a sudden they're getting their pink slip with their severance package from the position that they once held. And now they have no clue what they're going to do because all of the positions that they want or are qualified for are no longer available. AI is doing it. Now, a lot of people all flip out about AI and say, oh no, AI is going to take jobs. Yes. I mean, it's going to take 750 million jobs is the projected rate. But what people are forgetting is it's going to create 900 million. That's a surplus of 150 million. So while, yes, it will take jobs, it's also going to create jobs for people to go and be a part of. And a lot of people will say, well, what skill set, what tooling am I going to be able to have to be able to do that job? Because it's probably going to create jobs that are for people who are extremely smart in computer science. No, it's not. But you have to be mindful to be open to change and adapt and make the move. But most people are unwilling to make the move. I mean, for instance, it comes down to the simple fact of, like I say this all the time, you're hungry. You're sitting at the house and you're like, man, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten for 24 hours. I'm starving. Okay, well, you're going to get up and go to the kitchen. And you either have, before you even do that, you have a choice. Food's in the kitchen or wherever you keep your food at. You're going to go to that place, right? That's a choice. Well, you're going to do it because you're so hungry. But then you get into the kitchen and there's nothing that's really jumping out at you. You could make something, but because you're so hungry, you want it now. You want it faster than you could got it, by making it. So then you have another, choice to make. Are you going to order Uber Eats? Are you going to go drive down to the restaurant on the corner, the fast food restaurant on the corner? Are you going to go to the store, the corner market? What are you going to do to feed yourself, right? It's all choices. And when it comes down to what we're talking about in Web3, it all comes down to choices. And people are not hungry enough. And when we talk about AI jobs and retooling and skilling and tooling yourself, it comes down to, are you going to do it? But most people won't. They'll just get up and be like, what's the easiest thing that I can do? And we know a lot of people want the easy button. They want to hit the easy button. We all know that Staples commercial of hit the easy button, hit the easy button. And that is why there is such a market for services right now that are all about customization and making your life easier. I mean, cleaning and all that. And that's when AI and robotics are going to take, we were talking about it the other day. You can get a robot now for just over $16,000 that will do all your cleaning and everything. So,
and so,
people,
we
and guess
encourage
what? People are going
Yeah.
to buy in on the robots because it makes their life, heck yeah, I'll make an investment of,
Mm-hmm.
10, 15, $20,000 of a robot that is going to last how many years and I don't have to clean
Mm-hmm.
anymore and it's going to do all that. They'll make the
Mm-hmm.
investment to make their life easier, but they won't make the investment to go find out and learn and reskill and retool themselves to be able to ensure that they have job security or entrepreneurship security. And that blows my mind.
Mm. Mic drop. And
Mic drop.
something that something that I was going to share with people is that even as we mentioned these AI tools, right? We encourage you guys to go to our Business in a Box at thehellollc.io, and we have an entire guide, AI guide that has well over 30 AI tools that you can utilize for your everyday life, for your business. Because a lot of the times what we hear is that when people talk about AI, they're just talking about Chat GPT. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm using AI, or they're using the AI, for their faces to post and just have fun with. And they're like, oh yeah, I know all about AI. You have no clue about what AI can provide on all areas of your life. And so this is where we have to take the time to re-educate ourselves, especially for some of the things that you like to do. Prime example, 4th of July is coming up. Father's Day is coming up. I know that you're probably going to go to your friend's house and they're going to have, or your parents' house, and they're going to have this old scrapbook with old photos in it that are all bent up and out of shape and everything. There's an app out there that is in that guide that will literally let you scan those pictures and now keep it digital, where now you don't have to wait until, everybody has it in their phone, this, that, and the other. You can literally have people download it into this app to where now you keep the trend of the family legacy going. And so that in itself is where we don't have to be implementing AI into our business, but for our legacy, which then even brings us even further to, this is where you have to, take some of that time that we spend on doing all these other things. Like Tara said, we were that, right? On a Sunday, football season, 12 hours nonstop football. Oh my God.
Not me.
Call of Duty.
Not me.
Duty. Oh my goodness. I was bragging about how many hours I was spending playing Call of Duty.
I
wish I could kick myself in the butt now, and be able to say, dang, I wish I could have started my side hustle, even sooner. And even now, I know that we have, we started our business in the wellness industry and network marketing, and people looked at us crazy. And those same people that looked at us crazy, we look back and now they're doing network marketing because people are understanding that they have to make some additional money because their job isn't doing it. So instead of it feeling like it's an actual job or it's something that you dread to do because that's what people hear, when they hear side hustle, you all can turn your passion into profits and make it to where it's something you like to do. Where, especially when we talk about building a community, the first thing that I would encourage you guys to do is to start giving love back. A lot of you that are entrepreneurs and social media, you're not liking, you're not commenting, you're not posting. Lady Drew would be a great example of how you build a community and how you help others. She has been sharing our posts left and right like it's going out of style. And she's been sharing us with her community. And little do you know, if you do have a business, this is a great way. And I highly encourage you to have a referral program for your business. That's one way to build your community, to say, hey, if you refer people to my business, I win, you win, we win together. That in itself is a huge thing, and that we share with people to be able to utilize our strengths. When we talk about hosting events, we all should get out of our old traditional ways of, oh, I'm doing social media and that should be enough. Social media is just the beginning that a lot of business owners are just now getting accustomed to doing. Especially, I encourage you guys to separate your business from your personal life, where you can post about your business. The average person is seeing 5,000 advertisements a day. Why is
That's a
your
lot.
business not one of those advertisements that you're showcasing to other people, especially now utilizing AI and this Web3? We now get to utilize this podcast as content for our community, for other people to look at it. And I can assure you This podcast being on a Spotify, this podcast being on a traditional Zoom, this blows it out of the water. This is going to engage people and be like, hey, I want to know more about this Hello Pivot, Thursday that they're doing. I want to do something like that, just like Miss Roberta Pacino. She's now doing her podcast in her Hello Plaza studio, to where now she's able to share with people, hey, come and visit me where I can do my podcast live, or I'm going to do a pre-recording. Come and join me. And now that podcast that people come and join her on, now she has content on content and another podcast within a podcast. That's something completely different, where people could come in here right now and ask us questions and be a part of our podcast, because that's what we share with people. There's enough abundance for us all to win. And so as long as we're all respectful, we all are courteous, and we're able to, share our businesses and what we do and how we can help each other, let's do it.
Yeah.
It's enough for all of us.
Yeah. It really just comes down to shifting that mindset. And again, so many people are stuck in survival that mindset shift is hard. We know that. We know that from personal experience. And when we share this with you guys, it is not because, we haven't been through it ourselves. We share it because we have been through it. And so if we can do it, we know you can do it. It's just, are you willing to make that commitment and keep the consistency? But most people are not.
That part.
Because, I was having a conversation today, and, in that conversation, it was about consistency. And it was like, oh, just keep the consistency of posting. And it was like, yeah, but when you want to quit, you have to keep going. There have been, David and I have been in business for ourselves for 8 years. There have been many, 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 many moons that we have been like, we'll just go, I don't know, we're not going back down the hill, but we might just lay down right here and die. And it's just because you get tired, and it really comes down to a gut check. And a lot of people, because we've gotten so accustomed to the comforts and convenience that we are offered within the States. And I will say that because those comforts and conveniences are not everywhere in the world. We know that firsthand by traveling. And we as Americans take that very much for granted. We are the most convenient nation there is, meaning if you want something, you can order it to your doorstep now and not have to leave your house. And, that was funny, babe. I could hear the slap and see everything. That was cool. Anywho, so at the end of the day, it just comes down to really just, are you willing to make that commitment? And most people are not. And most people that find themselves then stuck in survival because, like we even said, we are willing to take a short temporary, hiatus. What was that?
Quick fix.
Well, we were willing, back in the day, I would take a quick fix, absolutely. But we've learned there is no such thing as a quick fix. It is, consistency and commitment and showing up day in and day out. And the biggest thing that I would share with people is that we looked at it and said, okay, well, we can continue to work what we're doing in corporate America for the next 30 or 40 years, right? And at that point, then maybe have a retirement plan that, we live comfortably, but we're not living the way we wanted to live in our retirement, like traveling and living, to be able to do anything. And in reality, we said, okay, so we can do the 40-40-40 plan, or we can make the sacrifice for the next 5 or 10 years in our business, which is what we're doing, to be able to see the long-term gains. And a lot of times people won't make that sacrifice.
Well, you say that, and I've shared this story beforehand, and I'll never forget. There was a gentleman at one of the old companies when I was a C-level vice president for a company. I asked him, as he was the owner of this company, and I said, hey, if you could start all over again, would you do what you're doing now? And he looked at me and he said, hell no, David. If I knew what I had to go through, what I've been through now, no, I wouldn't sign up for it. And now being in business, I understand exactly some of those things that he was going through. And a lot of the times this is where we share with people, hey, we get it. Some of the same friends that we had, from when we were both in corporate America and living for the weekend and doing all crazy stuff, those friends we no longer have, flat out. They're gone in the wind. And the friends that did, share with us, there's another way to live, there's another way to be, and there's people out here that really want to do good. Those are still our friends. And we've created a community and surrounded ourselves with like-minded people that believe in themselves and want to do something different and understand that the sky's the limit. And especially right now with, our community understanding that this metaverse that we continue to share with them is going to be worth 1.5 trillion by 2030 in 6 years is humongous. This is the Google, Amazon, ride that a lot of people are sitting pretty on their yachts, on their helicopters, sitting back, looking, being like, man, all those people that didn't believe in me now, they're struggling while I did that sacrifice, and here I am now. And so
Yeah.
this is where we share with people, do not be that person. And especially right now, it is will over skill. You do not need to know all the ins and outs, how this works, how that works, where this screw goes, where this goes. We literally can think it and you can create it. Today, just preparing for this podcast, I was able to use AI and just talk myself through it. I didn't have to touch one single keyboard, not one stroke, not go here, not go there. We have AI that can do all this thinking for us. And as long as we're willing to change our energy, that will change our frequency, then we will be willing to change our worlds. And most people won't be willing to do that as we don't in our daily lives with our daily habits of our health, of our meditation, of our arguments, of our communications with our significant others, with our children. We're not making changes there. So how dare we sit up here and ask people to change something about business when we're not doing these changes in our everyday life, which is why we share with people that we want more for you than from you, and we focus on the mind, body, and soul.
Yeah. You said something about, talking about friends. The friends that we had 10 years ago are not the friends that we have today. And, the friends that we have today, we've had for the last 8 years since we've gotten into business with ourselves because they're people who are entrepreneurial mindset. Some of them still work corporate America jobs, right? It doesn't even matter about that, but they see the impact of doing something greater in this life. And it doesn't take away from anybody who used to be within where we used to be real close. It's just like my mom used to always say, friends come and go. You'll have friends throughout life. Some will be here for a season, reason, or a lifetime. The friends that you have in high school are not going to be who you have that are friends of yours in 20 years. And that was always hard for me as someone who wanted to make sure that, I kept and maintained relationships. And a lot of times from speaking for myself, and I know speaking with, David, we, as being two cancers, we tend to go way out of our way to make sure that, friendships are being maintained and communication is being maintained. And then one of the biggest things that I will share with people that it's just a public service announcement. And if you have friends that are entrepreneurs, maybe try this on for size. Maybe try this jacket or this shoe on for size and walk a mile in these shoes. And that would be the biggest thing that we saw is when our friends started having children. And, David and I have chosen not to have children. That's just our personal preference. We love kids. We're big kids ourselves. But it was something that we've just chosen and within our own life that we, have our fur babies and that's it. And one of the biggest I guess, separations or dividers that happened was when our friends started having children. And I would remember you and I would show up. We would be the hosts of these, events and functions, baby showers and birthdays and, celebrations of all kinds of things that we would be hosting for our friends to celebrate their great news about, a new child on the arrival or the birth of a new child or a birthday of a child. Oop, I somehow have moved myself out of range. Hold on. I'm coming back, George.
I was like, what happened? Where'd she go?
I threw myself down over the fringe. I'm done. I committed suicide, apparently. I'm on my way back.
No, you haven't done that. It's just, those times when I get mad at you
Oh,
and we talk about, throwing each other over the balcony. That was one of those moments.
that was one of those moments, but I'm back just like that. How's that? I'm no longer over the balcony. But so what I was sharing was the simple fact at the end of the day was that
You can't do that in the real
when
podcast, by the way.
no, you can't, and actually, live to tell about it for sure. Throw yourself over the balcony and then have to come back. But my point being is we helped all of our friends celebrate these great grand milestones, even weddings. You know, and the biggest thing that I have noticed in return is David and I, again, have not chosen to have children. So we did never go through the experience of having, baby showers and, a party for a birth and, birthdays and all of these things. We haven't went through that as our own. And I'll tell you, and I've shared this to David in private, and this is one of the first times I'm sharing this on public forum, is that our baby is our business. Our baby is our business, meaning at the end of the day, your newborn who is up, in the middle of the night needing to be fed or needing to be some loved because they can't sleep. That is our business. If something is askew and we have a client that needs help and it's in the middle of the night, we are up fixing it. We are taking care of it. This is a 24/7 kind of thing. This is like having a newborn all the time. And the biggest shocking thing that I had, and I will just tell you this, it hurt my feelings because that's just who I am. Because like I said, we will go out of our way to make sure people are taken care of and feel like they are celebrated. And for our friends in return to not celebrate our business, to never say congratulations, to never ask us in 8 years, we've never had one of our old friends stop and ask us, how is our business going? Hey, how's your business doing? We've never had one out of those 8 years, friends that we had, 8 years plus ago that are no longer in our life. They haven't liked, shared, or commented on social media. I mean, it is amazing to understand the digital currency that we will provide. It's really sad when you see friends, especially close friends of yours, who don't even decide to share or like your business stuff, but will do it for other of their friends. That's real hurtful when you see them do it for other friends and they don't do it for you. You realize very quickly, well, I guess I'm not their friend. I mean, out of their actions, they're able to do that for others, but they're not able to celebrate our baby. And that's been, I think, the most eye-awakening experience that I have had when it comes to being an entrepreneur with friends. It is why we now have friends that are very entrepreneurial mindset. Some of them still, like I said, work corporate America jobs, and are entrepreneurs, but they understand it. And when they call or when they text, they ask, hey, how's the business going? How are you doing in business? Right? How's your baby doing? And that means the world to David. You don't have to purchase a darn thing in our business, but the support and the lack thereof of support that has came from the old friend group. It's okay. I have no hurt feelings, but I know now that what we've done for others, they have not done for us. And it hurts at the end of the day. So we leave it be, but we are aware of it. and we just move accordingly. And we, again, like David said, we surround ourselves with people who are positive, who are doing their own thing in their business and their life. And then, but also ask them, it goes both ways. When you're asking people how their life is going, their kids, their family, why not ask people that you know own a business how their business is going? And that is, and to be very frank, I'll be honest, I bet all of those people that were friends are at one point in our life before we started our business that are no longer around, they're clueless. They don't have no idea. You know, there's just the time and distance grew, and now we're digital nomads and we travel. And so, yeah, we're not in the States and we're not in your backyard anymore. But at the end of the day, that's the beauty about this technology is Web3. They could be standing all right here behind our cameraman and be able to support our business by the click of their phone, but they're not. And at the end of the day, this speaks volumes. And so, you know, it is just what it is. The biggest thing, like, you know, like you talked about, um, when that gentleman said, if I knew now what I knew then, ooh, I don't know. To be very frank, I would still do it because it's made me a better person, and it's actually put people in my life that are true to be in my life and not those who um, were a one-sided relationship. And that's what entrepreneurship has helped me discover. You know, it definitely weeds through the
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah. And, you know, not only that, and it even hurts even further when you do have those friends that say they will do business with you and they don't do business with you.
Yeah.
And they continuously lie about it, or, you know, don't do what they say they're going to do. And especially knowing who we are, you know, integrity, kindness, and, you know, commitment, that those words are shouted to the mountaintop, and for people not to own up to their word, and not even communication is key. And that's something that we share with people all the time. Just say no. You know, I think a lot of the times, especially in building a community, we have to also be willing to say no, to
Yeah.
not just be fake, not be, you know, schemy or sleazy or anything of that sort. But if, you know, a community or something doesn't work for you, just say no. And, you know, there's always this guerrilla marketing. There's always, oh, I'm going to go in there and try to see how many people I can pull out of there. And it really becomes a little grungy to where people don't want to go out
Dusty
into
crusty.
communities, especially, yeah, dusty crusty when you have that type of experience. So, you know, love, you're spot on with that. And, you know, some of the other things that will add to this is that, you know, to build a community, why don't you create, you know, contests and giveaways? And a great example of that would be is, you know, when people come into our Hello Plaza, every 5 minutes that you spend in our Hello Plaza, you're going to gain a Hello coin. And starting next week, we're going to put up a contest that the person that has the most points, we're going to be giving away maybe an AI MotionWorks, maybe, you know, access to our Pivot membership, be giving away something. But we want you guys to really come and experience this. And that's a way to build a contest, to gamify things, because that's where everything is going. Ask, you
Yeah.
know, Walmart, ask, you know, BMW, ask, you know, Nike. They have programs, gamifications that is in metaverse already, that they're creating these things. So it's not David and Tara, you know, suggesting these things, just coming up with wild ideas. We're seeing other companies do exactly that. And especially, you know, when we talk about social media, you have to make sure that your social media is up to par, and having a metaverse world. Oh my God. Do you see how much content that we have that we can make in here? We have the fire, we have the golf carts, we have our Pivot members over there that are on the wall, from Miss Roberta Al Pacino, right, from Miss Roberta Pacino, Miss Dr. Alice Duncan, Miss Marilyn Holloway. We also have, you know, Miss Kathy Thomas. We also have, you know, Miss Taborn, Marcella Taborn. We have so many people that, you know, can come in here and be able to create these experiences utilizing this metaverse. And now social media is dusty and crusty. We can go live in here. There's so many things that we can do. And love, I don't know about you, but check your battery, because I just got the
Yeah. Well, you know, as we get ready to wrap up here, since we've been on
yeah,
air for an hour,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the message that we're driving home is that, you know, a lot of people used to say, I wish we'd go back to the old days. Well, we are in a
Yeah.
way about community. We're going to be not so centralized where we'll go back to, I mean, you're already seeing it. You're already seeing where, you can drive down the road in a smaller community and there's farmers markets or little fruit
Hmm.
stands or a little farmer stand off to the side. And people are going off of the trust system where, you put your $5 in for, some eggs or whatever it is, $2 in for eggs. And, nobody's out there taking your money. It's all about trust. And it comes down to rehabilitating that sense of community. It's also, up to each and every one of you to hang around the people that make you feel good and bring the best qualities out in you, because when you feel the best, you are being the best, meaning you're showing up for them, right? When they make you feel good, you're showing up for yourself, but you're also showing up for them, because people, it's not it's not what you look like, it's how you make, and it's not what you say to people, it's how you make people feel. And it
Yeah.
can be through your words, but it really is, just the new community that is coming back around at the end of the day. But anyways, any closing remarks, Mr. Jones? Come back into camera, my friend.
Yeah. 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 I would encourage, hold on, let me get back here. I would
There you
encourage
go.
you all to definitely, come and join us in the Hello Plaza from your cell phone, from your laptop, from your VR headsets, and really be able to experience something different. If you're looking for a different experience, you want to increase your brand recognition, you want to be able to get away from the crusty, dusty Zoom calls, you also want to be able to utilize this AI technology, definitely come and, join us and learn more, where you can join our Pivot membership. You can join, our Hello AI MotionWorks. Definitely those of you that have not revamped your foundation, right, from your static website, your landing page, yeah, I highly encourage you to check out our amazing Biz in a Box, where that's our one app, one tap. If you're utilizing business cards, if you're not being able to even collect emails, if you're just showcasing an Amazon link for your books, if you're just utilizing a Calendly for people to just go and book an appointments with you, you definitely should probably be checking out our Biz in a Box, because this is part of the technical debt that you don't want to be left behind. And I'm here to share with you, as we always do, the average age is 30 years old of the world. And so you have to be able to up your systems, up your game, because if you're making it to where it's hard, or you have to be the one to talk to people to tell them about your business, you are falling behind. Because just like in our Hello Plaza, people can come in here, watch our videos that are playing, go to our Biz in a Box, learn about and see everything and gain points. We're ahead of the game, just like you all should be. And this is where we help companies be preventative, other than, being the janitor in their business, when they should be the president, to work on their business and not work in their business. And you get to choose, which is the great thing about how, life works. It's up to you. And so, definitely come and join us. Also, we're going to be amazing guests on Miss Roberta Pacino's podcast, Kiss of Fame, on June 15th. So definitely come and join us there at 1 p.m. Eastern. You'll be seeing a lot about that. You'll also be seeing some grand openings of some new Hello Plaza storefronts as we move forward. We've been able to really, have some amazing conversations with our How To Tuesdays and our Wisdom Wednesdays that happen at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, our Hello Pivot on Thursdays. And Love, I just have to say, I appreciate you sharing, and being authentic with, how things have been for us, for the last 8 years, and sharing that. And I'm more than certain you're not the only one. And that's even more importantly why we build a community, so we can share our stories and we can get it off our chest. Because I know a lot of the times, thank God it's me and you, in the business, where we can have these conversations and really, talk about these things and help the other person, off the cliff. there's other people that we know that are just one-sided, where the other, significant other is doing their one thing, and then, one person is really building their business and they're not in it together. Or vice versa, where we have a lot of single mothers that are out there raising kids, building their business, and have a job, and they don't have no time to put into anything else. And that's even more of the reason why joining our community and implementing AI and metaverse helps out individuals like that. And I'm sorry to say, gentlemen, these women are kicking ass and taking names. They are building their business, building their brand, and it is happening. And so 99% of our clientele are women that are building and creating and moving faster and forward and utilizing this technology. And unfortunately, I'm going to be real. When I talk to guys, first of all, that's if they show up to these appointments. They talk a big game, but they don't walk the big game when it's time to do it. Or they say, oh, I'm going to do it, and then they don't do it. And then they're out and about telling everybody else they're going to do it, and they don't. And just my experience, fellas, not looking too good from this point of view. And we talk to a lot of people across the world. And so this is where ladies keep going,
world,
keep
Craig.
kicking butt, keep taking names.
Mhm.
And just like here in Mexico where we're living, there was a Mexican president that was, now, and the Mexican vice president that is a female as well. So it's happening. So just for my fellas, we're going to have to pep this game up. Let's go.
Well, with that being said, you know the drill. Thanks for being here. And I'll start out love,
Kindness,
and integrity,
but more importantly,
commitment.
and consistency.
And until next time,
Doodles!
doodles! Thank you for being here.
See you
See you
guys
next
later.
week. Bye-bye.